Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Beluga Whale and welcome back to another Preseason 2016 video. Now I know it's been a while, I've been kind of busy with school and then it was Thanksgiving week and all this stuff came up, but anyways, I'm back and today I actually have a Hecarim video for you guys. I've never shown you guys that I play Hecarim before, but I do like Hecarim a lot and I think he's actually really strong with this build that I've been going. And I don't think a lot of people know about him, so I hope you guys enjoy the video and you can start abusing Hecarim like I have because he's really good. Okay, so before we get into the guide, let's get the boring stuff out of the way. I do have a Twitter account now. If you guys want to follow me there, there should be a link in the description, and you can also find a link on my YouTube page. And I don't really care if you follow me or not. It's up to you. If it's easier for you to get notifications on Twitter than it is for YouTube, then I recommend you follow me on Twitter. That's about it. And then also, if you guys want to talk to me or you ever want to play games with me or anything, you can join this Whale Lounge. This is actually the first person I've ever seen join, Mr. Quirp35. So shout out to you, Mr. Quirp35, if you're watching this Hecarim video. But yeah, if you guys want to talk to me or ask me any questions, or if I'm looking for people to play normals with, I'll look here first. So if you guys want to join this, the way you do it is you click this button on your client and then join a chat room. And see, we'll actually do this. I'll exit out of it, and if I type in Whale Lounge, it's gonna make me join immediately, right? So you can do that, and then I have mine set to auto join on startup. If you do that, you'll join it automatically every time you open up League, and then you'll get to play with me a lot. So yeah, alright, that's the boring stuff. And then also, we do have some music to listen to today because, like I said, I'd rather listen to music, and you guys haven't given me any feedback yet, whether you like it or dislike it. So until you tell me that you hate it and you don't want to listen to it anymore, we're going to listen to it. This song's called The Abandoned Ship Remix by GlitchX City, and there'll be a link in the description, of course, to it. And yeah, it's just another really chill song. And I know all my songs have been Pokemon remixes. They're good. That's why I'm listening to them. I do play Pokemon, but I'm not like obsessed with it or anything. Pretty obsessed with League of Legends. So yeah, and then also, it is going to play on repeat, and I haven't mentioned this before, but if you want to listen to it on repeat, if you want to listen to YouTube videos on repeat, there's a Chrome extension called Auto Replay, and then you just click it, and it'll automatically loop YouTube videos for you. I think I need to turn this down just a shade. Okay. Alright, now let's get to Hecarim. So yeah, I did buy the new Hecarim skin because it's freaking beautiful, and that's why I've been playing Hecarim so much. Let's see. So runes, I do have a new standard AD page. If you've seen my Lee Sin video or Rengar video, I think I've shown this before too. This is pretty much the new standard for AD junglers with the changes to the warrior enchantment. So warrior enchantment got it got tweaked, I guess. I don't think it's any weaker than it was, but it doesn't give armor pen anymore. So now you're pretty much going to want to take armor pen on your attack damage page. So I take attack damage Quints. There are 5 armor pen reds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 4. Sorry, 4 armor pens and then 5 attack damage reds. And then that's just going to give you 11 attack damage, which is pretty good. But then the armor pen's just going to come into play early game. Of course, if they're stacking armor, you can get a black cleaver, and this is still a little bit too loud for me. It does sound pretty cool though. But anyways, okay. Armor yellows, that's standard. If you don't take armor yellows, the jungle monsters will make it very hard for you to clear the jungle. And then actually, I'm going to take 6 cooldown blues, because that's going to put you at 5% cooldown. And then 3 magic resist. The reason for this is because they kind of increase the amount that all AP items cost, if you guys noticed that. And because of that, that means that you're going to be able to build magic resist before the enemy AP gets that many items in a standard game, right? So instead of taking all magic resist, you can take some cooldown. If you don't have cooldown blues, magic resist is fine, obviously. And if you don't have armor pen, attack damage is fine still, but this is the optimal page to take for your standard AD. So Lee Sin, I run this, Hecarim, I run this, Vi, I run this, the AD junglers. Anyways, moving on to masteries. These are my Hecarim masteries, and they're kind of weird. But the thing about Hecarim is that so people might want to go 18 in ferocity. I've actually seen Hecarims that I versus in solo queue have fervor of battle, and that is not a good mastery on Hecarim. So Hecarim would benefit from sorcery. That'd be really good on him. Double-edged sword would be fine. And then this is okay. This is pretty good. This is fine. But then none of these really make sense. But if you go down the defense tree, and we'll talk about cunning last, but if you go down the defense tree, you're going to get very tanky, obviously. And then you're going to get Grasp of the Undying. And I don't know if they're going to nerf Grasp of the Undying soon. I don't think I've heard anything about that. But Grasp is actually very, very, very strong on tanky champions. So as you know, as you probably already know, every 4 seconds you're going to steal 3% of your own maximum health versus a target. So if you build Cinder Hulk, which you are going to be building Cinder Hulk on this Hecarim build, you're just going to have a lot of health, and you're just going to get pretty much free mega lifesteal every 4 seconds in combat. And it does a lot of damage. It actually does a lot of damage, and it's going to help you survive all the time. I really, really like this Keystone, and it's the only one that I think works very well with Hecarim's kit. So Fervor is okay, but you don't auto attack that much on Hecarim. You're more about disrupting and using your Q. And then Deathfire Touch would be okay as well, but Deathfire Touch is better on damage over time champions than it is on, say, Hecarim, who does physical burst damage, right? And also, if you've seen my Jax video and you're watching this from that, I did update it today, which is the 27th. I take Fervor on Jax from now on because Fervor is better on champions that auto attack a lot, and then Deathfire is better on damage over time champions like Malzahar or Brand and stuff like that. So anyways, you're playing Hecarim, so you're going to want to take all the movement speed masteries you can. That's another reason I run into these two trees. I take Runic Armor because it makes your W heal you for a lot in the jungle, and that's always good. I take Insight because reduced summoner spells is a little bit better than increased health regen when you're low, just in my opinion. I do take Ghost on the second build. It's Ghost Smite, so I think Insight has more use than Perseverance. I take Legendary Guardian because it's 3 armor metrics for each nearby champion. When you ult into the enemy backline, you're going to get a ton of resistances from that, and then obviously Grasp. I already talked about that. Moving on, you go into the Cunning tree. So basically the most damage that you can do on any champion is 18-12, if you guys didn't know that. But even if you're going tanky, you still need to go 12 in Cunning because of Merciless and Dangerous Game. So Merciless, you deal 5% increased damage to champions below 40% health. That just means when they get low, you do more damage, which is obviously something that you want. And then finally, Dangerous Game, you restore a percentage of your missing health and mana every time you get a champion kill or assist. And with Hecarim's giant AoE ult, you're probably going to get 5 assists if 5 enemies die. You might get some kills. You should be getting some kills, but obviously, you know, that takes getting used to Hecarim. Whatever, we don't have to talk about that. But this is a very powerful mastery. And then I take Secret Stash. Your potions and elixirs last 10% longer. I do take Hunter's Potion on Hecarim. I don't actually like Hunter's Potion very much recently. I tend to, if I can avoid taking it, I do avoid taking it just because it's... So, like I've said before, Hunter's Potion's not bad, but it is 400 gold that you're throwing away to not your items, right? So if you can avoid taking it, I usually do, but on Hecarim, his mana costs are so much that you really can't avoid taking it. So I take this because it's going to make Hunter's Potion last a lot longer, and yeah, movement speed because you're Hecarim. Alright, now we can move on to item sets. Oh, this is when I was trolling around with Vlad. Okay. Let's make a Hecarim page, and I'm going to pause it and come back when we're at 6 items to show you guys. Okay, so we're back with items, and a little bit more than 6 items, but whatever, we'll talk about them pretty quick. So, I do go Cinder Hulk, and I do go Tracker's Knife every game. Oh yeah, and I forgot about Trinket. This one's good, and this one, we'll talk about this in a second. But anyways, I do go Tracker's Knife, and I do go Cinder Hulk. So you're going Cinder Hulk basically so you can get as much health as you can to boost your Grasp of the Undying. And don't worry about, if you're thinking that since you're going Cinder Hulk you're not going to do very much damage, don't think about that, because you do a ton of damage with Hecarim, and all this means is that you're going to be sustaining a lot from Grasp of the Undying. It's Honestly, Grasp is so strong that it's pretty hard to tell the difference between the amount of damage Cinderhulk does and Warrior does on Hecarim. And if you're going Warrior, you're going to be a lot squishier anyways, and this build is just very strong, so just trust me. Cinderhulk's not going to make you do less damage. It also helps your clear a lot, obviously, if you're doing AoE damage to the camps. The thing about Hecarim's jungle, I kind of mentioned this a second ago, is that his mana problems are severe. That's how they balance Hecarim. They pretty much nerf his mana every time Hecarim gets overpowered. So because of that, Cinderhulk's going to let you clear without having to use that many spells, and then you're also going to get a Hunter's Potion to sustain your mana. I do go Tracker's Knife every game that I jungle. Different people go different things, but I'll talk more about Tracker's Knife when we get to the trinkets, I guess. Okay, so like I said, you are going Hunter's Potion. When I start on Hecarim, I do actually start Hunter's Talisman and a refillable potion. So Hunter's Talisman just got buffed this current patch, 5.23, as you can see up there. And it actually got buffed quite a lot. So in my Echo video, if you've seen that, I said that if you can take Hunter's Machete, you should. But when Talisman got buffed, they kind of even them out. So it's, if you need mana, take Hunter's Talisman always. And if you don't, take Hunter's Machete. Hecarim obviously needs mana, so you're going to take Hunter's Talisman. I do take refillable potion. It's not that hard to sustain with refillable potion because you are going to have... Alright, I got to turn this down one more time. This is just a little too loud for me. There we go. Okay. Sorry if it's been like obscenely loud this whole time. But anyways, refillable potion does get increased by... Yeah, we want to save. By Secret Stash. So it's going to give you pretty good sustain. It's fine. 3 health pots would give you more sustain, but you're not worried about health on Hecarim. Like I said, you're worried about mana. So I start with Hunter's Talisman and a refillable. On your first back, if you can, it's best to go straight into Trackers and finish your Hunter's Potion. You might think you want to get Boots 1 when you back, because they do increase your damage because you're Hecarim. But the sustain is a lot more powerful. So try to get Tracker's Knife and Hunter's Potion on your first back, and then finish your Cinderhulk as soon as you can. After you finish Cinderhulk, you're going to want to get Boots 1. You don't have to finish your Boots 2 immediately. You can, because they do give you a lot more damage on Hecarim. So if I'm versus CC, I go Merc Treads always. It's not worth... Swiftness are very good, but not having the tenacity is just not worth it versus CC teams. No matter how you look at it, it's just annoying to not have tenacity. So I go Merc Treads if they have CC, or if it's a AP heavy team. I actually think in the video we're going to watch, I was versus 4 AD, so I went Ninja Tabby. Obviously, if you're versus a bunch of AD, Ninja Tabby are better. They did actually... I would say that... So this is going to be kind of confusing, but if you're versus a 5 AP team, you would get Merc Treads. And if you're versus a 5 AD team, you would get Ninja Tabby. And just based on that, Ninja Tabby are better. Ninja Tabby are better boots than Merc Treads, is what I'm trying to say. They got a little more armor. They still reduce the same amount of damage from basic attacks, and they're just more powerful boots. But you have to get Merc Treads if they have CC. If they don't have CC and they have a mixed damage team, like they have 2 APs, 2 ADs, and a support, and they somehow don't have CC, maybe they have Soraka support and like Zed and LeBlanc and whatever. If they don't have CC and they have mixed damage, you can go Boots of Swiftness, because 1, this is going to give you the most damage that boots give you, because obviously the more movement speed you have on Hecarim, the more attack damage you get. And 2, they're cheap, and 3, it's going to help you get around the map quicker. So they're good, but most of the times I get defensive boots. Also, because this is a defensive build, makes more sense to get defensive boots. Next, you're going to get Iceborne Gauntlets. And Iceborne Gauntlets are insanely powerful right now. In my preseason impressions video, pretty sure I said that I think they were fine. They removed the AP, so they're a little bit weaker on Elise. But on Echo, they're still really strong, and on Hecarim, they're very, very strong. So Gauntlets, they give you 20% CDR. That's the main reason they're so strong. As soon as you finish these, you're going to be able to Q like once a second, along with your auto attacks and your grasping and dying. You're going to be doing quite a lot of damage. Also, the AoE effect now scales with armor, which is perfect because one of the core items on Hecarim, as you probably guessed, is Dead Man's Plate. So you're going to get a bigger circle right off the bat, and it's just the 500 mana that these give you are going to shore up a lot of that mana problems that Hecarim has, and it's just, they work so well on Hecarim. They're so good. I saw, actually, Night Blue, I was watching his stream, he's the one that reminded me that I liked playing Hecarim. You know, he was playing Hecarim, and I think he went Triforce, and Gauntlets are way stronger. They just are. There's no other way to describe it. Gauntlets are very, very good right now. So I go Gauntlets. After you finish your Gauntlets, you need to finish your boots if you haven't already. I usually finish them before I finish my Gauntlets, I think, just because they give you a damage boost. But if you haven't by then, finish your boots. Then you're going to go into Dead Man's Plate. The only time that you wouldn't go into Dead Man's Plate if you're versus 5 AP. If they have 1 AD, which they probably have an AD carry, you're going to get Dead Man's Plate next because, as you guys know, Dead Man's Plate gives you movement speed as you... So, Dead Man's Plate gives you, while you're moving, you build up increased momentum, which increases your movement speed, which means Hecarim does more damage. And then, on your auto attack, you get a slow, which is good on Hecarim because he doesn't have much CC other than his ult. Like, his ult is really, really strong CC, but other than that, he doesn't really have CC. So, Dead Man's Plate's going to pretty much shore up some of your weaknesses and make you really, really strong. Also, it has health, and that's going to increase your maximum health even more because you have Cinderhulk, and then your Grasp of the Undying is going to do more damage. Then at this point, I usually go Spirit Visage because, 1, it works very well with your W because it increases all healing received by 20%. And then 2, it's a good magic resist item. 70 magic resist is no joke. That's a lot of magic resist. 500 health, more damage on Grasp of the Undying, and then the health regen, no one really cares about that. But anyways, I go Spirit Visage. It mainly, you go it because it works so perfectly with your W. If you didn't have that W, you'd want to go Banshees. I think Banshees is a better item in the current meta than Spirit Visage, but on Hecarim, you go Visage. And then finally, you're going to be at 5 items here, because 1, 2, 3, 4, and Boots. At this point, obviously, you're going to have to sell your Hunter's Potion, but I don't sell it until I have to buy the last item, just because it's a good item. I don't know, I don't like it very much, but it is a good item. Keep it as long as you can until you have to sell it. And then finally, if you're versus a bunch of AD, Thornmail is really strong. It's going to make your Gauntlets circle, like, humongous. Like, bigger than a Galio Q. I know that's a weird reference, but that's what I see it as. Or you can go... hold on, let me pause real quick. Okay, we're back. One of my friends messaged me there. Anyways, I think I was talking about Thornmail last. Yeah, Thornmail, if you're versus a bunch of ADs, it works really well with your W. Your W, if you're doing more damage with Thornmail, your W is going to heal you more. It's just, this, especially once you have Gauntlets, this is really good, but don't get this if they don't have like 4 AD. If they have anything less than 4 AD, do not get Thornmail. Okay, next I have Black Cleaver. If you have a lot of AD on your team, like you first picked Hecarim and then your whole team picked attack damage champions, get the Black Cleaver to reduce the enemy's armor. Also, if you're really fed, you could get this pretty early, probably right after Gauntlets, you could get it. But other than that, you don't have to get it. It's just if you have a ton of AD and you feel like you're not doing damage because you have so many attack damage champions on your team, then I'll get Black Cleaver. Banshee's Veil, same thing as Thornmail. So basically in a normal scenario, I would get these 5 and then Black Cleaver, probably. If it's not a normal case, if they have a lot of AD, Thornmail. If they have a lot of AP, Banshees. Now, let's talk about trinkets, because trinkets are... well, this trinket, Farsight, is very broken right now. So... okay, let's just read this. So, I don't know if you guys have noticed from streams, but basically, it's coming down the ladder from Challenger. I'm only Diamond 5 right now, but, you know, it comes down to Diamond 5 pretty quick. Games in Challenger now only have red trinkets or blue trinkets. That's it. There are no yellow trinkets anymore, and this is the reason why. You get increased range. These wards don't die from blue trinket. They do not die. And they do not count towards the ward limit. So, I don't know if you guys understand that, but you can place infinite wards that don't die unless killed. And you can place them from, like, from your lane into the enemy's red buff or something. It's crazy. This thing is crazy. It's a lot more prominent on top lane Hecarim. And if you guys do want to play Hecarim top, I run literally the exact same runes and masteries when I go top. But I am a jungle main, and this is a jungle YouTube channel, so we're talking about the jungle here. So Farsight is really, really broken. I pretty much go it every lane. Every time I go top is Hecarim, I take Farsight, and then in the jungle it's a toss-up. If you're ahead, I would go Farsight, but if it's a really close game, I would usually go sweeping into Oracle Alteration, of course. We can throw this away. And yeah, also always, I didn't mention this at the start, but you guys should know this by now, you always start with yellow trinket on your first buy, and then once you go back and you get your tracker's knife, you have a sight stone now. Tracker's knife acts like a sight stone, then you can get your red trinket. But anyways, so Oracle Alteration, this is, I really like this trinket right now, but blue trinket's just very, very broken. They're gonna have to nerf this before, they just have to balance it. It's just OP. So anyways, Oracle Alteration's good. If it's an even game, I would go this. This is going to let you gank lanes easier, clear wards if the enemy isn't using blue trinkets, and stuff like that. But if you're ahead, I would go this. It's very overpowered. The reason that it's overpowered is because they don't die on their own, and you can have an infinite amount. Like one time I was playing top lane Hecarim, and I literally had the whole enemy red side jungle, every single bush, and the enemy red side jungle, because I was on blue team. It had a ward in it from this trinket, and that's just ridiculous. One person can ward up a whole quarter of the map. Come on, it's broken. So yeah, this if you're ahead, this if it's a normal game, and yeah, that about covers it. That's why this runes, masteries, and items took a pretty long time, but Hecarim is actually kind of difficult to play, so felt like I could talk in depth about everything about him. And yeah, finally we'll jump into the gameplay. Okay, so we are loading to the game, and like I said, they do actually have a 4 AD team, and they have support brand, but supports you don't usually have to worry about until late game. Let me hide that, and let's turn it to blue team, and we don't want chat on. So also, I should mention, what I use to record my games like this is Baron replays. It's a lot more reliable than LOL replay, which is the really popular one. So if you guys want to record your games, I do recommend, if you feel like you've hit a wall and you don't know why you can't win your games, you can get one of these programs. I recommend Baron replays. You could get LOL replay, and then you can watch your replays and figure out what you did wrong. That's really a good way to get better at the game. But anyways, so the enemy team has 4 AD. Alawi, Yaoi, I don't remember how you say it. She is an AD champion though, if you guys didn't know. So they pretty much picked 4 ADs, and Brand is actually very broken right now because of that one keystone that does extra damage based on your ability power. It's an extra dot. It pretty much means that Brand has 2 passives, and let's look at this skin while I talk. This skin is so cool. But anyways, so because of that, I am going to be going pretty much the armor build this game, and it's going to be pretty easy. And then another thing, in my games, I've started starting at my red or blue, depending on what team I'm on. And the reason for this is basically because there's this trend going around where everyone wants to invade every game because it's like the ultimate cheese, and if you do it right, you can get a first blood and snowball from there. So if you start at your buff, enemy's not going to be able to invade you. Pretty much. If you start at your red and they come to check out your red, it's already going to be dead, right? So I do it. If you do start at red, it's really not that hard to clear too, because you're going to smite it, and then smiting is going to give you bonus health back. Tell your team though, you want to tell your team that they need, your bot lane can auto it 3 times. And if they auto it 3 times, that guarantees that they won't miss any CS in lane. And like I said, since you're smiting it anyways, it's not going to be that hard to clear. So I've started at my red buffs from now on, and we'll go ahead and speed it up a little bit. Hecarim doesn't have any auto resets or anything like that, so nothing special here. You start Q. As far as skill max, before we get deep into it, I max Q first, W second, and E third. The reason I max W instead of E is because I like the sustain more than I like the slight increase in damage that E gets you. And that's it. So yeah, I get my team to tech it. I think Vayne actually hits it 4 times, but she doesn't miss any CS. And then, yeah, just gonna clear your red. It's standard stuff. You just smite it when it's low enough. Your smite does, what, like 390 at level 1? Yeah, so as soon as it got low, I smited it. Then I'm gonna go do rates. And the reason you do rates is because ever since the new season, wraiths are very, very easy to clear if you have any AoE on your champion. And Hecarim's Q is obviously AoE. So, gonna go over here and start clearing. And then, what do you know? Let's speed it up a little bit. And, guess who decides to visit? Lee Sin. I called it. Everyone invades this patch, and it's so annoying. But, anyways, we did the right thing. We started at red, so Lee Sin's actually at a disadvantage here. He just doesn't know it. So, what's gonna happen is my Orianna is instantly coming down because she's a godsend. Well, she's gonna come down in a second because she's a godsend. If you saw there, let's actually rewind this. We'll talk more about what I do here. So as soon as I see Lee Sin, I want to get the Raptor in between me and Lee Sin, because Lee Sin obviously has his Q, and that means if I can get the Raptor in the way, I'm going to dodge that execute. So he does actually Q the Raptor. He took the bait. My first auto on him, I gained 22 life. The reason I did that is because of Grasp the Undying. That mastery is broken for early game skirmishes like this. So we'll go ahead and watch. Now all I can do is keep fighting Lee Sin and hoping that my Grasp will keep me alive long enough for my Ori to come down. My W does come back up. So if I get Grasp right here, I healed for 38 that time. And the reason for that is because your W heals you for a percentage of the damage the enemy takes. So if he's taking 22 damage, that's actually quite a lot, and then your W is going to heal you more. Because of that, I'm already winning this trade. Then I know that Lee Sin's Q is coming up any second because, as you guys know, I do play Lee Sin quite a lot. Because of that, when he runs into the bush, I'm going to actually ghost to get out of the range of his Q, because if he hits his Q on me, I'm definitely going to die. My Orianna finally came down, and she actually beat the Yasuo down very quickly, so we have full advantage. As soon as Lee Sin hits the Q on Orianna, I know I can come back in, and I also want to get away from this Yasuo because he has Ignite. So I'm coming back in. Lee Sin is going to Q back and try to flash out, but once Orianna ignites, I know that he's pretty easy. Orianna flashes to get an auto and her Q on him. Once she does that and Yasuo starts hitting her, I'm going to come back in. As soon as Lee Sin died, my Dangerous Game procced, and I got a huge heal. So now I'm almost half health. Orianna's a little over a third, but in between half. You know, she's doing fine. And then I have Grasp the Undying and red buff. So I'm going to go ahead and fight this Yasuo. There's no way that me and Orianna both live here. But there's also no way that Yasuo gets a double kill. So it was in our best interest to fight him. So we're going to fight him. I'm going to hit him as much as I can. Brand comes down to try to help. Okay, I actually lied. The Yasuo screwed that up. We can talk about that in a second. But Thresh comes down to make sure Yasuo doesn't escape. And then I got a kill and Orianna got a kill. And we super punished the Lee Sin for being a cheeser dog and trying to invade. But anyways, the reason that Yasuo died here, so let's watch. Yasuo almost killed Orianna. He doesn't auto her. He canceled an auto on her. If you saw, he just canceled an auto, which is a common mistake. And then he switches focus to me. He does knock out the Orianna. If he ignited Orianna here, she died for sure. But for some reason, he wants to kill me. Maybe because I had a red buff. Maybe because I did more damage than Orianna. But basically, he killed himself by switching focus to me. So, misplay by my enemy Yasuo, and now me and Orianna are pretty strong. And we punished that stupid Lee Sin for invading. Not that that guy's stupid, but I really, really don't like the invade meta. Just the level 1 invade. Invading after that is actually a lot different, and that is something I want to talk about because I got a new philosophy on jungling the other day. Honestly, I had like an epiphany. So, I need to tell you guys about that. But anyways, I hate level 1 invades. I hate them so much, and I was really glad we punched Lee Sin. And if you want to avoid level 1 invades completely, what you do is you just clear your buff, and then you go straight to wolves. And I actually do that if I'm on a red side. I clear blue, and then I go straight to raptors, because raptors are just so easy to clear. Anyways, I went back, and I got my my 2 items, and I finished my Hunter's Potion. So I might have been able to get... I think I was a little bit of gold away from Tracker's Knife and a pink. So I went ahead and got Hunter's Potion. Hunter's Potion is going to give me incredible sustain. And I'm going to be level 3 after I clear this blue anyway. So now it's just back to jungling. Obviously you get your W at level 2 because it increases your sustain by a ton. And then you get E at level 3 so you can start ganking. So anyways, my new jungling philosophy. Let's talk about that. So what you do as a jungler, and this is actually like pretty high level stuff. I don't know why I forgot how to jungle recently, but I remembered. So basically what you do is this. If your lanes are being pushed, If they're being pushed, you go for ganks. So since this Alawi, sorry, I'm gonna butcher that every single time this gameplay because I forgot how to say her name. But since she's pushed, I want to gank her. What I had been doing before was always trying to gank lanes. But if your team is pushing, so if your team pushes up, like say my Orianna's pushed right here, and if my Shin was pushed, then I would want to invade Lee Sin. And the reason you do that is because once you invade while your team is pushing, the enemy has to make a choice. And the choice is come help their jungler and miss a whole wave of CS, or leave their jungler alone and get their CS. Because what it's going to do is either you're going to get their jungler behind because you successfully invaded them, or you're going to get the enemy laners behind because they had to come deal with you because you were invading. So basically that's the new Beluga Whale jungle doctrine. If your lanes are being pushed, gank. If your lanes are pushing, invade. And that's how, up until recently, I've been playing just clearing my jungle and ganking. But invading is actually a really big part of jungling. Not cheese level 2 invades. I'm talking invading throughout the whole game. So basically, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. So anyways, I do ward. I wanted to see if Lee Sin was doing his red because, you know, he deserved to be invaded after he invaded me. He's not, so that means he's probably at his Krugs. But since Alawi is so pushed, I can come up here and gank her. I'm going to come in. I used my E a little too early, so I'm not going to get the knockback. But the reason I did that was because as soon as I came over here, she could see me because of her turret, and I just wanted to get to her quicker. That's the honest reason. It was a mistake. You should have used your E later, but it's really not that big a deal. Shin lands a taunt, and then we're going to go to smacking her. She hits her Q. Her Q does actually heal her. I'm not going to break down all of Alawi's abilities, but her Q heals her. Lee Sin comes in, and look how squishy Lee Sin is. Shin's passive did like a solid eighth of Lee Sin's life, so I'm going to go ahead and hit him. Alawi actually rips my spirit, which is kind of annoying because if it goes off, then I'm going to become a vessel, and it's all this hoopla. But anyways, we do kill the Lee Sin. I actually had a so the reason I killed him when I was here and he was way over there, it wasn't a glitch. My auto started while he was next to me, and then when he dashed away, even though he got away, my auto still went through because dashes don't stop autos, right? Blinks might, but dashes don't. So now I'm a vessel because of Alawi, and if you're a vessel, Alright, if you are a vessel, what you have to do is kill 3 tentacles and you'll stop being a vessel. You can also just wait it out, or I think if you kill Alawi, it goes away. So basically what you see me doing right now is trying to kill 3. It doesn't matter if it's 3 that have spawned while you're being a vessel or 3 that were already there. But you kill 3 and then you'll lose the stupid vessel status and you can go back to normal jungling. So, I'm going to clear my Gromp. I'm actually doing really, really well. I already have 2 kills and I'm level 4 at 5 minutes. That's not that bad, but it's pretty good for... no, that's not that good, but it's good enough because of all the fighting we've had. So now Yasuo, I really shouldn't be ganking this lane right now. Orianna's pushing, so what I could do is invade, see if their blue's up, but I didn't think anything was up. I throw a ward, and then I figured the way Yasuo was acting that they probably had me warded, so I'm going to walk down towards bot lane. I just skipped Scuttle because, 1, you can't really kill Scuttle that easily on Hecarim without blowing a ton of your mana, and 2, I think my bot lane told me that Caitlyn's flash was down, which it is, so I'm going to come see if I can't invade her. Then Brand catches me in the bush, and look how broken Brand is. Let's see how much damage Brand did to me. I was almost full life. This is a solid 7 out of 8. 7/8 life, right? And then Brand combos me. He does get his full combo on him, but he also had a level over me, and I'm sure he's maxing his W first. Yeah, so I just take a ton of damage from that. But after that, Brand is all on cooldown, so I can start attacking him. I think I do get him right here. Yeah, and then Alawi comes. She teleported in, and she actually flashed to get an ult on me. Because of that, and because of Lee Sin, I am going to die, unfortunately. And then my team's going to try to clean this up. They do get Lee Sin. I think the Orianna... I don't know why I keep skipping to their base. I think the Orianna dies to the Alawi, and Shin might get away. Yeah, he's invincible. Okay, so basically what I did wrong there was I face checked the bush. I thought I was strong enough to where I could walk into the bush without worrying about Brand, but Brand had a whole level on me, And also Brand is broken right now and he does a ton of damage. So because of that, I got nuked. And let's watch me. I go back to do my Krugs. Krugs are level 2. I haven't cleared them yet, so I do need to clear them. It is important that you focus on clearing your jungle as much as you can, but also another thing about this preseason is that it's a really fast meta. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but games should be ending by like the 25-minute mark on this new preseason. And because of that, it's a lot more important that you focus on ganking than it is on clearing your jungle. And that's also why Devour is not that strong unless you go Rageblade. If you go Devour Rageblade, obviously it's really strong. But I think as soon as they nerf Rageblade, which they're talking about doing next patch, so that'd be 5.24, I think as soon as they do that, Devour is going to be utterly useless. So maybe don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. So anyways, I go back to jungling. Another thing to note about jungling is that you always smite Raptors and you never smite Krugs. So you always smite Raptors no matter what. And then if you're being invaded, if you're behind, you want to smite Wolves. If you're ahead, you want to smite Gromp. That's pretty much it. So now I'm going to go back to doing my thing. My Raptor buff did proc, and I thought I was in this bush, but luckily Hecarim's so fast that I was able to cover the whole area and get that. And then once again, I'm looking to gank bot. Caitlyn still doesn't have flash. I throw a ward here because Lee Sin did come from here when he counter ganked me just now, so I don't want to let that happen to me again. I was going to walk through this bush, but then I remembered that it's versus a Caitlyn, and I'm not sure if there was a trap in here, but there probably was because it was a Caitlyn. So I avoid the bush. I'm going to come down. Thresh starts the fight at a very perfect time. They're going to go ahead and kill Caitlyn. Like, I knew Caitlyn was dead already, so sorry about that. Sorry about my voice kind of cracking. I am kind of sick right now. I don't think it's affecting my voice that much, but it might affect how I breathe, if that makes sense. Sorry if it's bothering you. Anyways, so let's watch my pathing. I come to cut off Brand because Hecarim's E does slightly knock back. So I'd rather knock Brand towards my team than knock him towards his turret. I come in, I hit the Hecarim, the Brand, he's very squishy, and then I am going to go ahead and take that. I think Vayne missed it by like 1 health and my W killed it, but Hecarim's so strong right now that don't worry about taking kills. Don't kill steal, because all kill stealing does is make your team angry, you know? And this is NA, and this is kind of a rant. Since we killed bot, Dragon is free. But anyways, this is kind of a rant, but NA is very childish. I don't know, I obviously don't know if EU West or any of the other regions like this because I don't play on them, but I think part of the reason that NA is the weakest region is because everyone in solo queue is a child. And the only way that you can deal with it is just don't talk to them. If you have a person on your team that's raging a lot, obviously don't kill steal from them. That's just going to make them rage more. Don't talk to them and try to help them if they ask for help, but you can't only help people like that. I don't know. I don't really have to talk about this. This is a Hecarim video, but I just wanted to say I'm kind of getting sick of NA players' attitudes. I'm pretty sure. Alright, it's not the whole reason that NA is such a weak region. I'm talking about like on a professional global scale. But if everyone in solo queue took the game a lot more serious, then a lot more talent would come out of NA, right? Just something I wanted to say. I hope none of you guys watching my videos act like children in your games. Don't. It doesn't. What you can do, what I've done actually to stop myself from raging, I pretty much don't rage in chat ever. And what you can do, if you have a recording software on your computer, you can record your games. I've actually recorded my games live, so that would be different from Baron replays. And then if you do that, and you rage, and you go back and look at it, you're going to see how dumb you look. And that's one of the things, sorry, I'm going to keep talking about this, and then we'll finish talking about the Hecarim gameplay. But anyways, people don't get mad, or people get very embarrassed if they see how mad they were when they're not mad. So if you record your gameplay and then you see how mad or mean or childish you were acting when you're not upset, you're gonna see how silly it is. But anyways, for some reason this Lee Sin thinks he can still invade me. I already have my Cinderhulk and I already have a cloth armor. I win 1v1s with Lee Sin very easily. I don't know why this Shin ulted me. I think maybe he just wanted to assist on Lee Sin, but I am going to try to give this blue to my Orianna, which she does take it here. Then I'm going to go back to jungling. I don't really know. Like I said, I have no idea why the Lee Sin thought that he should invade me. I crush him now. And basically what I want to be doing, so I'm way ahead of Lee Sin in just kills, and I should be ahead in experience, but we're actually kind of the same level. What I want to do in this game right now is snowball my Vayne, because Vayne's actually in a losing lane. She's actually winning, but Vayne loses to Caitlyn. And if I can snowball Vayne, it pretty much guarantees that we're going to win this game. So what I want to be focusing on is ganking bot or maybe mid. Don't gank top because Shin's a tank, so there's no reason to gank for him. I'm going to smite the Raptors like always, and I am sorry about this frame rate discrepancy. I could play it at 1 speed, and it would play at pretty much perfect FPS. But if I do that, this recording is going to take another 24 minutes. So we're going to speed it up, and it's going to miss some frames, but that's how it is. There, my Thresh kind of catches the Lee Sin again, and Orianna ults, but it doesn't work out. They actually had 2 pinks here, so I work on clearing those. I did kind of waste some time doing that, but I don't really care. I wanted him dead. And here, Thresh makes the weirdest call of his life. Now, he wants to dive the Brand, and Brand does so much damage. What you want to do when Brand ults you is separate, obviously. So as soon as Brand ults me, I go ahead and dive on him. I want to get away from Thresh so it doesn't bounce. And then I am going to hit my ult here. I'm going to get a double fear. And then we're almost going to kill the Caitlyn. If Thresh had flayed a second earlier, Caitlyn would have died for sure. But he misses the flay a little bit. Then Vayne kind of dies, but she doesn't really. And then we've got Alawi coming down. She ults again. I'm going to go ahead and hit her a little bit. One thing about Alawi that I can say is that she's very weak versus mobile champions. So Hecarim and Echo, I've found, just destroy Alawi, because all you do is hit them and then sidestep. And if she can't hit her Q, she's actually a really weak champion. So as you can see in this fight, what I'm doing is making sure I get all of my Grass of the Undying that I can on Alawi. And because of that, it's just going to make sure I'm sustained, and also she's actually getting kind of low and she's not going to be able to chase me. Here, the Yasuo comes down, and because of that, we're definitely going to have to leave. The Shen has to kill 3 tentacles on his own. I did actually kill that tentacle once. I didn't know, but it is a fact that you have to kill 3 if you're the vessel. Your team can't kill 3 with you around. You yourself have to kill 3. So anyways, I go ahead and recall. My team does chase. I don't think they get punished for it this time, but what I want to do, I finished my Center Hulk, I finished my Hunter's Potion, and I got Ninja Tabby because they are 4 AD, so you might as well go Ninja Tabby, and I'm going to go into Gauntlets. And here, my Vayne wants red, that's fine with me, but I do come to get some experience, and I'm just going to go back to jungling. We're going to go ahead and, we can talk about this, hold on. So, Vayne gets my red, and then she immediately starts a fight with Lee Sin, and Lee Sin directly counters Vayne, so this was a very risky play on her part. She gets hit by the Q, she does get a great tumble into E, but then she gets ulted, and then she gets hit by another Q, and as soon as she got hit by that second Q, she was dead. She didn't use Shen properly. Caitlyn ults in, but Caitlyn ult's not even going to hit her because Lee Sin's going to go ahead and finish her off. And yeah, the Vayne, all she could have done better in that case was use Shen's body. Here, I do chase the Lee Sin a little bit. I wanted to kill him if I could. I couldn't, and also I'm not going to lose much because I'm so fast as Hecarim. I do go ahead and take the wolves because it's important that you counter jungle. And then here, my team gets in a little fight. I did ult the Yasuo there, just trying to save Orianna's life. But then, unfortunately, here goes Thresh. He flashes to the Orianna. Luckily, the first ult bounce doesn't hit her, and the second ult bounce doesn't hit her. But this one is going to. And then it's going to bounce to me. So she's actually probably... She got really low. She just had to run away. So luckily, Thresh's flash didn't actually kill Orianna. It looked like it was going to. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and take mid turret. So, sorry, this is like... This is the new meta. It's just constant fighting and taking turrets. Basically, if you get in a fight in a lane, then you want to take a turret if you win the fight. You have to in this meta. You have to take turrets as fast as you can. You have to take objectives. It's all speed, speed, speed. That's why I said it's really not optimal to be playing a Devourer jungler right now, because you can't really spend that much time in the jungle because you got to be worrying about objectives all the time. So we take the mid turret. I do want to drag him, but Vayne decided to back, so I definitely can't do Dragon myself. And I'm going to go ahead and recall and get my Sheen. If you're ahead, get Sheen first. If you're behind, get Glacial Shroud first, and then finish the other one for Gauntlets. I'm going to go ahead and smite my Raptors because you always smite your Raptors. And I also had another smite ready to secure this Dragon if they went for it. Now I have Raptor buff, so I know they don't see me yet. And I'm going to wait around here. The Caitlyn comes to trap the bush looking for somebody. It might not have been looking for me. But then I'm going to try to run past her, knock her back towards my Vayne as much as I can. I go ahead and use my Q on her. I did have the Grass in the Undying, so she's already half health. I'm going to Q again. And if I can get one more auto on her, she's pretty much going to die. Which I do get the auto on her. Unfortunately, me and Shin completely ditched our Vayne to kill the Caitlyn. Not the best trade, but, you know, that's how it went down. Then I'm going to run into the middle of them because 1, I am pretty tanky at this point. 2, I had my ult. And 3, Orianna was coming down. So I knew even if I died, Orianna was going to get a really good ult. Somehow, her ult still carried the 2 even when the ball was still on me. I don't know how that happened, but luckily that wins us the fight. I'm going to kill the Yasuo, and then my next target is Brand because Brand is super squishy. I also figured that my 3 teammates here could deal with the 1 Lee Sin. So I finally do switch to the Brand. I do tank his Q. It wasn't that important, but, you know, basically Brand is my food right now. He does get the stun on me, but... Oh, yeah, and then I tried to chase him, but I am going to die if I stayed under the turret, so I left, and then... I'm going to go back to jungling. The Alawi spirit thing killed our Thresh. He was like, what on earth happened? People don't know how she works yet, but... What he had to do was kill 3 tentacles, like I said, and then he would have lived, but he didn't know that. Then here, Alawi's going to start the dragon for her team. I'm going to back because I'm like no health, so I need to leave. I do kill the raptors, and I'm looking at the dragon. I did have smite up. No, I had smite up in like a second, so I thought I might be able to steal it, but then the enemy team's going to zone me off. I didn't have the health to really contest it, so I didn't. And here, the Brand hits an ult. It does a lot of damage, but you know, we're okay. And then I have my ult up, so if the enemy team groups up like this, it's actually a pretty easy fight for us. However, unfortunately, once my Orianna died, they had a really huge advantage, and they did abuse it properly. As soon as I saw Orianna starting to die, I should have just left, but I tried to come back and I died for it. And then my Vayne gets a little bit of cleanup. My Vayne was actually really, really good this game, so lucky for me. Not that I'm not doing well, but I did make quite a few careless mistakes this game. But when you have a really good ADC, and if you get fed and you can kind of set up your ADC to clean up, it's pretty easy games on Hecarim. So I'm going to go back to jungling, give my Orianna blue, smite Gromp every time you can. I'm going to push top because we don't have top turret yet. And if I could take this turret, that's what you want to do. You want to take all the turrets on the map as soon as you can. Turrets got nerfed. That's the reason that the meta is sped up so much. Turrets are a lot easier to push now than they were in Season 5. But Alawi comes to block, or comes to cover, and I can't 1v1 Alawi comfortably, and even if I could, I don't know where her whole team is, so I'm just going to abuse Hecarim's mobility here. I push top a little bit, Alawi comes up, and then I know I can get to mid lane way, way faster than she can. As you can see, this hasn't even procced yet, so she's not even in the vicinity. So, sorry about that. We push mid. I'm not actually a scripter. Let's talk about this. We take the turret. Oh yeah, when you're pushing turrets, one thing to note. Let's watch me push this turret again. It's on here. Okay. All right. You're gonna Q before you even hit the turret. Then your frozen gauntlets are gonna proc. Then watch your frozen gauntlets and watch your Q. Your Q is gonna, if it's not on the 2-stack thing, it's gonna be up about the same time. And then you just keep using your Q. The turret was dead, but basically, even if you're not hitting anyone, you want to use your Q to proc your gauntlets while you're pushing turrets. And then here, I walk over here, and then I thought that Lee Sin was about to go on my Orianna, so I'm going to turn around to peel for her. And then, lucky me, Brand actually decided to hit me right then, and it looks like I'm a freaking scripter, because after I saw Lee Sin back off, I'm going to go back to this, and then I saw that Brand was trying to hit me, and I was like, wow, sick dodges, but, it had nothing to do with Brand, those dodges, actually. He just got unlucky. And then here, my team pushes down the turret. And basically what we're doing right now, what we need to do is Orianna needs to give me the ball. And I need to ult into, like, these 3. I need to kill Brand because I'm building all armor, as my Shin is too. we should be building all armor because they have 4 AD. So we want to kill the brand pretty early, and then after that just clean up the rest of the team. But now I think I could afford my Deadman's, or maybe just the Giant's Belt. I wanted to leave because I was low on mana, and we already had these 2 turrets. And with Vayne's so low range that it's actually really hard to siege inhibitors with Vayne. So I go ahead and recall. I am going to buy a Giant's Belt. It's not that important what you build first on Deadman's, but Giant's Belt is going to make your grass do a lot more damage than Chain Vest is, so I usually go Giant's Belt first. I did buy the blue trinket here just because we were so far ahead that alright, I'm going to speed it up, and it's gonna frame rate lag. Sorry, I can't do anything about that. We can actually talk about this though. But anyways, I bought the blue trinket because my team was ahead, and I didn't really see the enemy team warding very much, so I might as well get this. Now, my Thresh gets into a fight, and he's about to die. I misclicked attack the Alawi. If I had attacked the Caitlyn, she would have died. So I'm going to go ahead and ult on her, though, to clean her up. Like I said, if I had played it properly, she would have died very easily. But I misplayed a little bit, and then I got stunned by Caitlyn trap. I got stunned by Brand, so I got CC'd down. However, the enemy team's already missing Caitlyn and Yasuo, and now they're missing Lee Sin. So they pretty much have no damage at this point. Brand's low on mana. Brand does a lot more damage than Alawi just because she went kind of tanky. So Vayne's going to go in, try to do some sick Vayne mechanics. She was actually, like I said, she actually played really, really well. But she didn't play perfect. Her mechanics were really good. Or his. I'm sure it's a guy. Whatever, that's not important. The mechanics were on point, but the decision making wasn't the best. But really, maybe that's not my business. I shouldn't be talking about it. We're talking about me. So, anyways. Right now I'm 7-3 and 8. I'm going Deadman's Plate next, and then after that I think I'm gonna go straight into. I think I'm gonna go with Spirit Visage because Brand is actually killing me pretty much in every fight. Just Brand's damage is what results in me dying. So now I go back top because it is past 20 minutes, so you get free home guards, which is honestly actually a really big buff for Hecarim. I'll just talk about this for a second. Lane Hecarims usually rush home guards and then would teleport bot and get a cheese early kill. And you can't do that anymore because home guards don't exist as something to buy. But with the new home guards, you can buy Alacrity every game on Hecarim, and you're going to get home guards anyways. So it's a nerf for Hecarim lane pre-20, but then after that it's a pretty big buff. Just thought I'd let you guys know. If you Hecarim, I do play him top 2 like I said, but this is mainly a jungle video. Don't take teleport in the jungle either. I didn't really talk about that, but the main reason you take Ghost is it's on a lot lower cooldown than Flash. You don't really need Flash on Hecarim, and honestly you can press Ghost in a 1v1 and it increases your attack damage by like 20. So it's not maybe not that practical, but in a 1v1, if I got in a 1v1 with the enemy jungler early game, I would definitely press Ghost just to get the damage boost. So anyways, I'm going to come top and pressure this turret. I really wanted to take these 2 turrets just because it's a lot of gold to not take for our team. And also I wanted to get this Baron so we could end. As you can see, it's already 25 minutes and I was actually getting kind of antsy. And this is when my stupid mistakes started happening that I mentioned earlier. The only reason I got antsy is because I'm used to my games already being over by now because of the fast meta. So when it was taking this long, I was like, okay guys, come on, we can end this game pretty quickly. I asked Oriana to give me the ball, or maybe she already knew, I can't remember. So I'm going to ult into the squishy targets. This is Brand and this is Lee Sin, and they're both going to get obliterated by me and Oriana's ult. Brand lives with like 1 HP, and then me and Shin get hit by the Brand ult. I am going to run that ult away from both Shin and Oriana just to dodge some damage. And then Yasuo comes in the back line and he cleans up the Oriana. So now we're kind of at a disadvantage because Oriana, me and Shin don't do a ton of damage. We do some, but we probably can't 2v2 these guys at these health bars. However, I didn't see my Vayne was coming in. So once my Vayne starts coming in, I make sure to dodge this Caitlyn trap. Well, I didn't actually path that way. But anyways, I'm going to use my E. Sorry about that. We can rewind it because it kind of lagged. Speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. Okay, so the reason that I pat down here, one, I wanted to leave, but then I think now I finally noticed the Vayne was here. And then the farther that you travel with your E, one, the more movement speed you're going to get from it, so your attack damage is going to go up, and two, the more damage your E is going to do anyways. And one more thing that I need to say about Hecarim is that you want to use your Q before you land your auto attack when you're using your E. So let's see if I do that properly here. No, I was going to hit the Caitlyn. And I kind of did it right, but my E was already over. So basically the reason that you want to hit your Q before you land your E is because your Q scales with your attack damage. And your E gives you bonus movement speed, which in turn gives you more attack damage. So if you hit your Q right before you hit your E on the target, this is going to do a lot more damage than it would if you hit your E and then you hit your Q. Because as soon as you land your E, you lose all the movement speed from it. If that didn't make any sense for you, don't worry about it. But if it did, that is an important tip about Hecarim that you guys should probably know. So we do kill the Alawi here. And I'm still at really good health. We do finally take this turret top. And right now it's looking like it's pretty cut and dry. Should be ending soon. But as you can see, the game still lasts for a whole 10 minutes. And a little bit of that was my team rather going for kills than objectives. And then I threw it a few times too. So we'll see it as it goes on. I hear Yasuo wants to mess with me, but if I kited Yasuo, I would have been able to eventually kill him. Just basically the way you kite with Hecarim is that every time your grasp is up, you auto attack them, and other than that, you just run away. Gonna go back to base now. Finally have my deadmans. I know for a fact I just bought my deadmans here, yeah. And then once you have deadmans, it's a really big power spike actually. It makes your E do a ton of damage when you hit it. And then I'm gonna get my Orianna this blue. We're just gonna ignore that frame rate lag. And the Vayne. When did the Vayne die? She's already dead. I think she was just solo pushing. Like I said, she was being kind of greedy. And here, the Lee Sin's trying to kill my Orianna, but then I'm going to come in like a wrecking ball. He goes over the wall, so I'm just going to nuke Brand for about half of his life. The Lee Sin misses his Q, and because of that, that means that Orianna's probably going to be fine. The Brand ult bounces from the Raptor, from Orianna to the Raptor, then back to me. Once it hit me, Orianna was perfectly fine. I do ult the Brand because I thought it was just him, but Alawi actually had a really good ambush setup. And because of that, I get stunned by the Brand, and then I get soul ripped by the Alawi, and then I accidentally run away, and that means I become a vessel. I get slowed, which means my attack damage went way down, and then my Orianna is going to die to the Yasuo. So basically, I kind of baited my team here. This is one of the many throws that I did this game. I thought I was going to be able to just insta-kill Brand, and it wasn't going to be a problem, but Alawi had a good ambush, and then Yasuo came in for a cleanup. And now that I am a vessel, I am going to go back to jungling. Oh yeah, and then it's really not that hard to deal with Alawi being a vessel, as long as you're on a mobile champion, like I said. So watch. What I'm going to do is, we'll do it in slow motion. I'm going to go to these Raptors. This, where's it at? This animation. You see the animation started? As soon as it spawns, you have to sidestep. And if you do that, it's going to plop down in a straight line. It actually leashed the Raptors for me because it was nice. And then you can go back and kill it. And you're going to dodge all the damage. All you gotta do, make sure, is as soon as it spawns, you sidestep, and then you kill it. See, I did it again there too. Here, our mid turret goes down, sidestep the tentacle, and then finally I'm not. Vayne last hit one of them, so I was still a vessel, but now I'm not. And now we can look at the cool Hecarim skin again. Here, oh yeah, we can talk about this. For some reason, Caitlyn ran up to here to. I don't know why she did this. Me and Vayne can definitely kill her. Vayne can 1v1 her, and then with me around, Vayne's going to be safe enough to do it. Also, Yasuo decided to back right here. If I had not killed this tentacle, Yasuo would have died too. So, big misplay by our two enemies. They just underestimated us a lot. Here, the Vayne, or the Caitlyn flashes to try to avoid the Vayne, but it's over. It's over. You're done, kid. The Vayne actually flashed to start the fight with her, but since she had our red buff, it was no problem. And then, we're gonna go to pushing. Basically, all we can do right now is kind of siege, and I'd rather our team Baron. So I think I asked my team to Baron a lot this game, but they didn't really want to. One thing to note, I've said this before, but it's better for everyone to be doing the wrong thing than for one person to do the right thing. So even though I know that Baron's the best play for my team to do, and that's what we should be doing, my team does not want to Baron. So I have to stay with them. You know, I can't solo Baron, and if I go to the Baron, they might die somewhere else. So even though I want a Baron, it's important that I stay with my team. And then here, Shen actually starts. See, this team was a mess because Vayne, Orianna, and Thresh did not want anything to do with Baron. Me and Shen really wanted to do the Baron. Shen comes back and starts the Baron, and this was a bad start to the Baron. Alawi comes in and flashes, and she almost hits like a 5-man ult, and if she had hit that, we would have pretty much got pentakilled by her instantly. But we do manage to run out, and she only hit one of us, so she just has one tentacle here. And then Alawi gets a little bit too close. My team's going to be able to kill her. I have my ult up, so what I want to do is either hit these two clowns with my ult, or hit Brand with my ult. As soon as Lee Sin comes in, oh yeah, and I got CC locked for like ever because their team loved focusing me. But I do ult the Lee Sin, we are gonna kill him, and then I'm gonna come back, kill the Yasuo, and then for some reason my Vayne sacrifices me to the Caitlyn ult. The Caitlyn ult would have chunked Vayne for a lot. Certainly it would have done a lot of damage, but one, my Vayne had Summoner heal up and she didn't heal me. Two, she also had like the Shin ult on her, so she was probably fine. But anyways, Vayne sacrifices me to the gods. I'm dead, and then she's going to try to kill this Brand. Like I said, she does have pretty sick mechanics, but the exhaust ends up killing her. She can't dodge an exhaust. So, but she does kill the Brand. So we get a 5-for-4 ace. It would have been a lot cleaner if Shin hadn't started the Baron instantly, but you know, not much you can do about that. What I want to do right now is, one, go wave clear bottom because it has like a huge wave with the turret. That's not what I did. Uh-oh. Let's rewind. Here I am. Okay, so the reason that I spawned, and I'm going to go straight to the dragon. I could have gone bot and got a few minions, but one, they were almost all cleared out, and then two, if you notice, this is the third dragon. And the thing about getting third dragon on Hecarim is that it's pretty much another first dragon for Hecarim because it's a bonus on movement speed, and then that means your attack damage is going to go up. So if you can get the third dragon, you should on Hecarim. It's actually a pretty big power spike. It's like finishing your boots, so it's a pretty big power spike. And then here, the Yasuo seems like he's way out of place, and Orianna has the ball on me, so this looks like a great fight to me. I'm going to go ahead and E into the Yasuo, and then I think I should have ulted. No, my ult wasn't up, is why I didn't do it. Here, I'm fighting Yasuo and Lee Sin. I was going to win this really easily, but then Lee Sin ults me, and Yasuo ults me, and then Brand hit a W on me. If Brand hadn't been there, I would have lived, but unfortunately, Brand was there, and Yasuo flashed to last hit me. They, like I said, the enemy team hated me, but I died, and the enemy Caitlyn died, so basically all that means is that they lost a large portion of their damage, and we lost half of our front line, but we still have this monster up here for front line. So my team should be able to win a fight. Also, Lee Sin, Yasuo both ulted me, so my team has that advantage too. So Alawi comes in, she's going to try to wreck house. It's not going to work. Vayne's, once again, she has crazy mechanics. I don't think this Vayne was scripting because she did die 5 times already, but other than that, this guy had really impressive mechanics. But anyways, Vayne's just going to be able to clean this up. It's no problem at this point. And then my team's going to push, and you would think that a 4 enemies dead this late in the game would mean the game ends, but as you can see, it still doesn't end. So Vayne goes back to pushing the inhibitor. They do get the inhib, and I'm here because, you know, as soon as Hecarim spawns, he's going to be back. I go ahead and ult I tried to ult both the Lee Sin and the Caitlyn. I only hit the Lee Sin, and then I'm going to just frontline like a monster. Unfortunately, this was actually a really bad call on my part. This was the second time that I hugely threw the game. And my Vayne completely Vayne spots. You guys know what all Vayne spotting means is a Vayne face checking. So the Vayne doesn't use me. I was trapped on a Caitlyn trap. So she takes the brute force of the Q and the Brand ult. Then she's going to die. I come up here to try to kill the Caitlyn, but Brand is just wailing on me. I don't have my Spirit Visage finished, and Caitlyn did Summoner heal. So because of all that, I'm going to finally fall, and then Shin's going to fall, and it was pretty much my fault completely that we all died there, and I delayed the game a lot. Like I said, my only excuse is that I was ready for the game to end. I wasn't playing perfectly, for sure, but it's okay. So, let me go back to clearing my blue. No big deal. And we do start the Baron this time, and I did actually feel a little bit better about this Baron than the last one because we had an inhib down mid lane. But, however, we still started it early, and my Orianna died over the wall. So now, we're in the danger zone of this being stolen. Lee Sin's actually really good at stealing Barons, as you guys probably know, because he has to execute on his Q. So we go ahead and back off. The Alawi actually overextended, so she should be a free kill. She almost dies. And then I'm going to go ahead and ult the Brand and the Caitlyn because, one, I hate this Brand's guts at this point. And two, Caitlyn had like no health. So I'm going to ult in. My Shin's going to flash in. He almost hits like a 10-man taunt, but he didn't have the energy for it. And then my Vayne's going to go ahead and clean up the Brand. And while she does that, I'm going to go over here and be monster tank with Shin. Me and Shin were both so invincible at this point that as long as Brand's out of it, it's really easy. But while Brand was there, it was super hard. And then here, I just wanted to kill Lee Sin. I think I do eventually give up on this. One, because my Shin said he was coming and then he changed his mind. And then two, Lee Sin had a level over me. That kind of made a difference. And three, my team's just ending. So I might as well leave the Lee Sin alone and come over here. And yeah, I can't speed it up anymore, so that's finally the game. So, yeah, this game actually took a lot longer than it should have. But my only other Hecarim jungle game was... the enemy team kind of had a troll, so I didn't want to use that one. So, that's about it. As far as Hecarim goes, like I said, he's really, really strong. You just sustain for so long with your W and Grass of the Undying, and he's so much fun to play. And he looks so cool in this skin. So, that's why I've been, like, maining Hecarim this past few days, ever since the skin came out. And yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter or join that chat room on League or anything like that, that's cool. I don't care about Twitter followers, but if it's easier for you guys to get YouTube updates on Twitter, then you can follow me there. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Oh, hold on. Hold on. There we go. Goodbye.